Welcome, everybody, to Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul. Adam Freeman here, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia on June the 8th, 2020. Paul Brees is in Brentwood, Tennessee. And, Paul, I had the opportunity, got back out on that course early today. And there's a statistical definition. It's called regression toward the mean. And that's exactly what happened out there today. I regressed toward the mean. Yeah, so I got back to my old triple-digit self there. A little more difficult. The slope on the course was a little bit higher, a little bit longer. And I don't know what it is, but
I'll tell you what it is.
Talk to me.
You're not tough enough, Tom. You're not mentally tough. You bring other people into the round.
Yep.
And then you start thinking about other things. Play by yourself. You know, you're silky smooth as the other side of the pillow.
Yep, I know. And here's the thing, too. And it makes perfect sense when you say that.
You start pressing.
Listen,
you start pressing.
Put me on a tee box. There could be a puddle of water 10 feet away. I see that water. Mentally, I go, that's where my ball is going to go. You put any sort of water, that's a problem for me. And this course basically borders a lake Altoona. And there's several holes that are right on the lake. Dude, just put water in some form of play. You're right, man. Mentally check out, dude. I'm already counting it in the water. +1. +1.
Speaking of somebody that had a mental breakdown.
Oof.
Big Cat.
Yeah. You said you watched it, a lot of it, right?
I watched it live. I was one of the 120,000.
Yeah.
Watching
Amazing,
it
right?
live.
Yeah,
more than the Rose Bowl seated.
That it actually seats in real life, which I thought was pretty incredible. And you wonder. I mean, as entertaining as Coach Doug's is, and he is pretty entertaining. You got to wonder, would this happen if we were not in the coronavirus, no sports situation? Would this be going on? Would people really be watching a 30-year-old guy playing NCAA 2014 on his TV and streaming it? I mean, would we be watching it? No.
Not only that, late at night with his baby sleeping in the next room.
Yeah. I don't think we're watching.
Hey, give the guys due. I think he's got 1 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Obviously, he works at Barstool, and that has tremendous following. But this guy has created a cult for Coach Doug's, and it's amazing.
He's got T-shirts. He's got like models wearing his T-shirts. He's got celebrities wearing his T-shirts. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, I watched a few of the key plays that he had posted. I did not watch it live, but it seems like his his quarterback finished like third in the running for the Heisman or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's finished second or third. I think him and JoJo Smalls, the running back,
right,
were 2-3. I think the guy from Virginia Tech won it, and we obviously now know why.
Yeah. I mean, Caleb Presley throws a school record 6 INTs in the BCS title game. That's not going to get it done. And Doug's goes down 49-21. I was rooting for him. He had some glimpses there. He had a couple times when I thought, you know what, maybe turn this thing around, but just trying to force those balls into those tight windows just wasn't happening.
Yeah. He has what I call I think we all have a go-to play that we run that, and his is shark wheel. Can't stop the shark. It's a wheel route for the running back, JoJo Smalls, out of the backfield. And he relied on that heavily when he got in trouble during the regular season. And Virginia Tech scouted. They locked it down. And he basically, Big Cat had no answer. Doug's couldn't, there was nothing he could do.
Yeah. He wasn't moving the ball, trying to force the ball, and you see what happens. So that gets us to his decision. He had a decision to make coming up. What's he going to do? And everybody that's played 2K, NCAA 2014 knows that if you're building your team like he did, the end of every year you have a decision to make as the coach. What do you want to do? Do you want to return? Do you want to, some people will offer you, schools will offer. And so it was kind of up in the air last night what he would do. Well, here to tell you, decision has been made, and Doug's is staying on Rocky Top. So he's already started, like you said. He's already started 2018 campaign.
And his motto, I guess, is unfinished business. He had – I think when I first started following him in this whole process of how the Coach Doug's just came about, I think he was at Florida State and maybe Texas Tech and then Tennessee. And, it was just amazing on Twitter all day that various big-time D1 football programs recruiting Coach Doug's in this process to come coach their team in game play life, but
in the virtual life,
the virtual life. But it was real Twitter, back and forth for all the way from Wisconsin to Nebraska and LSU, and I think Big Cat and Coach Doug's, realized that they had a golden opportunity slip out of their hands last night, and he's ready to get back. And I saw him do some little recruiting today.
Got him a 5-star. Got him a 5-star.
Yeah, so
he did.
I don't know if you want to talk about his 2018 campaign schedule, but it is a murder's row.
It really is. 7 ranked teams, and don't forget about that trip. He's got the cat got the Cats on Rocky Top, but don't forget about it. On that 12th game, they can ruin everything.
What do they call those games? Overlook.
Trap game.
Trap games, yeah. Obviously, the non-ranked opponents, you try to do some cupcakes, create some depth for your team, but not Coach Doug's. He went after Maryland and Scott Van Pelt, game 1.
So he's actually playing – like Scott Van Pelt's actually the guy –
Scott Van Pelt has also joined in on the bandwagon, and I think he is from Maryland he went to Maryland or something like that. So he has been playing with them, and I think there's some kind of chirping going on back and forth. And so I'm not sure if it's an official Scott Van Pelt versus Coach Doug's, but Doug's is playing Maryland game 1.
I mean, could we see this on SportsCenter?
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine?
That would be crazy.
I mean, the SVP show at midnight or whatever, whenever it's on.
And I'm sure there's been a mention or two about it.
Oh, there has.
So
there has.
He's got Michigan. He's got Virginia Tech, who's the preseason number 1.
Yeah.
So no easy task, as well as the SEC. And obviously we don't want to forget the Kentucky Wildcats, but there you go.
At the end. That's right. All right, so I put this next one on there. This is for you. All right? Okay, and the Titans, Jarrell Casey, I mean, he's no slouch. And they just they trade – who did they trade him to? Texans?
Broncos.
Broncos, that's right. Broncos for a 7th-round pick. I don't understand this. And he made some comments. He's like the Titans threw me out like the trash. I mean, he was getting on them.
Yeah.
You watched him play. I've watched him play. He's a good player. I mean, defensive lineman. I think and those guys are. You got to have those dudes as far as depth goes. I feel like there's something more to this story. Why they dealt him for a 7th-round draft pick. Like maybe there's some internal turmoil or something, but he's not letting on that there's anything like that going on. Was it a salary dump? Is that what it was?
I think the Titans were going to save $11 million in cap space.
Sheesh.
And I'm thinking that maybe they use that.
Don't tell me.
For Tannehill.
No, thought you were going to say the other defensive player you went out and signed.
Your boy from the Falcons.
Jeez. If they dumped Casey so they could spend money on Vic Beasley, they are out of their mind. I'm telling you. Just wait till you watch this guy play. It's unbelievable. Ugh.
All right. Well, so I'm just going to chime in and say I feel bad for Jarrell because the guy was a loyal Titan and went through some tremendous turmoil with this team. 2-14 seasons, 3-13 seasons, and now with Vrabel, they've got the momentum going, and now they ship him out to Denver to die.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And
where he's got to play Mahomes twice a year.
Yeah.
And the resurgent Raiders twice a year. I mean, that's a tough division.
Yeah. Well, I totally feel bad for him. Obviously, we've always been told NFL, it's a business, right? And I don't know if the $11 million is what it's going to, what it went to. Obviously, I know that getting the trade value for Jarrell Casey, the Titans did not get what they probably should have got for a guy that's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times.
Yeah.
And a tremendous run stopper. And, you talked about D-line guys are few and far between.
Yeah, if you get a good one, you got to hold on to that dude.
Yeah.
But, again, like you said, it's a business. I still think that's a great business decision. I mean, 7th round for that guy? Come on.
My last comment is Titans at Broncos week 1. Somebody is going to get payback. And hopefully Jarrell Casey. So there you go.
Truth. All right, so you mentioned this next topic, the NFL mock draft order. That I guess because here's the thing. Sports talking heads are so bored, there's nothing to talk about. And so now they're taking the guys that are already in the league and they're redrafting them. Okay, so, if everybody in the league was just coming out of college, where would they go? And
or their current situation.
Yeah. Which I thought it was interesting. I think you have 4 of the first 5 were all quarterbacks. Yeah, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and who was the fourth? Who was the 4th quarterback? And then Aaron Donald, I think, was
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson was 4. Yeah. So I mean, essentially, I think it was like they just did 4 rounds.
They did.
And I tell you what, like the Bengals, they got Mahomes. Then they took Josh Allen, Laramie Tunstall, and Tyler Lockett. Those their 4 picks.
That's tremendous.
I mean, that is out of this world. But it's kind of interesting how they kind of literally make something out of nothing with a NFL re-mock draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough that we just had the NFL draft 2 months ago. Let's do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So basically, these guys were ESPN reporters for each team.
Yeah.
And they got to fantasy-ish type draft, and these are the guys they picked. And I got to tell you, my Tennessee Titans, not great. Not great at all. I don't know if you saw the Titans.
No, I didn't get that. I didn't look far down the board.
Teron Davenport, the Titans reporter, I'm going to give you a C-. C-. Tyreek Hill.
That was
not a bad
pick.
Your first round. Second round, this guy can't even find a job, Cam Newton.
Are you kidding me?
They picked Cam Newton.
Okay.
I think Mr. Davenport for the drafting for the Titans, I think he he felt the what I call the fantasy football kicker carousel. You know, in your fantasy football drafts, when that first joker in your league takes a kicker, and then everybody else feels like they need to have a kicker. Well,
yes.
In this draft, it was very quarterback heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to the second round. He was like, oh, my goodness, I have no quarterback. Let me take somebody that doesn't even have a job, Cam Newton. Round 3, defensive tackle. It'd have been funny if he took Jarrell Casey, but he didn't. Fletcher Cox.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the 4th round, cornerback Jair Alexander.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. I mean, Cam Newton, you're not sure if he can even throw a football anymore or throw it accurately. You're not even sure if he's healthy, okay? But, again, it's all in fun. It's all in jest. It's a mock draft. That's what they're for, just to knock things around and have a little fun.
Listen, I want to cover real quick your Atlanta Falcons. And I say your Atlanta Falcons because
they ain't mine. Come on.
I know. But here, guy Vaughn McClure, the Falcons reporter.
Yeah, okay.
He took as his quarterback. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
Matt Ryan, round 1.
They love him here. Listen, them not winning, not his fault, okay? It never, not his fault. So I'm all right with that.
All right, round 2, defensive end Cameron Jordan. Very good. Round 3, I think they got a steal in CeeDee Lamb.
Ooh, I like that.
And then round 4, Jeff Okudah at corner.
Wow.
So I feel like, hey.
I mean, he went with some unproven rookies, but hey.
I
think the idea behind the draft was to draft with the thought that you want to be in position to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I think that was the impetus to the draft. Like, looking at it. So
let me give you my last wild card team, who I thought maybe had the best draft. The Chicago Bears. Jeff Dickerson, the Bears reporter. He went with a pretty solid quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
Round 2, running back Derrick Henry. The Chicago Bears in round 3, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver.
Like that.
Round 4, defensive safety Eddie Jackson.
Wow. Okay.
So, who in turn actually plays for the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
But I thought that was pretty nice draft.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Again, as you talked about, not a lot going on. We could sit here and talk about how MLB's doing this, doing that. They can't get their act together. And we're beating it with a dead horse. The NBA, they've got different schedules coming out. I thought this was fun and just kind of something that you can look at and say, what if?
Yeah, what if? Speaking of things that are fun and different, it's what we try to do every time that we have an episode. We love to have the human interest side, and this was actually of your doing here. And I didn't realize this until you sent it to me. Okay, so apparently Looney Tunes that we all grew up on, Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck, Foghorn Leghorn, all those great Looney Tunes characters, Warner Brothers characters. Apparently now, all the ones like Yosemite Sam and the gentleman behind you here, Elmer Fudd. If they're new Looney Tunes made, they cannot have guns. Okay, here's the thing: Yosemite Sam is a cowboy, and Elmer Fudd is a hunter. What is he supposed to do? What character? I mean, that's part of their character. So what are we doing here? I mean, I don't get it.
Well, it was very funny that you mentioned it. The picture behind me, is that called a scythe?
Yes.
It chops wheat and
sickle. It's like a sickle, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're replacing Elmer Fudd's gun with that.
No, they're not. Are you serious?
It also states we can't do any cartoon violence, but excuse me, the TNT, the dynamite stuff, they could do because that was kind of grandfathered in.
Okay, so it's okay for.
Sure, we could chop their head off with that. We could blow them up.
Okay, but we can't shoot them.
According to Peter Groundgart, we're not doing guns.
Wow.
So,
Shoot.
and let me say this, Adam. Did we ever see Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam ever connect with a shot and kill Bugs Bunny?
We saw Yosemite Sam shoot plenty of like holes in hats,
yeah.
and holes all around the target, but we never did see him connect. I got to give you that. How many times did like the gun backfire and blow up? That's the funny.
Right.
I mean, Bugs Bunny would just, he would just stick his finger in the hole, and then and it would split wide open, and his face would be, gunpowder all over his face, and no more of that. There's no more of that. You can't do that with a sickle or whatever. I guess that's what that is.
I mean, we're Bugs Bunny still quote alive. Elmer Fudd still alive.
Yeah.
But for heaven's sakes, don't carry a gun. And
yeah, I mean, he went decades.
I mean,
practicing good, basically gun safety. Now, Yosemite Sam, I don't know that he practiced a lot of gun safety, because he fired a lot of rounds in his day. But yeah, so my question is this: I didn't even know they made new ones.
I think this is coming into like HBO streaming service.
Like new Looney Tunes cartoons.
Well, I can't answer that. I don't know.
I guess moving forward, if they like say they're leaving it open, if we do, we're not using guns, and
I think
you can still tap into the old school stuff that they run like on Nickelodeon or whatever, which is like the stuff we grew up on watching Saturday morning, whatever. Well, I got a little surprise for you because I added an extra human interest topic, surprise topic for you. All right, bam.
Oh man,
underrated 90s movies.
Wow.
Okay, and just to kind of get you thinking around that, around that time frame.
Yeah, sure.
There's a couple that, it's one of those deals where if one of these movies comes on TBS or TNT or one of these movie channels or whatever that's on our cable provider, I always have to watch at least part of it, at least for like one. Okay, I want to watch this for like this scene or whatever.
Right.
And one of those is it's a Harrison Ford movie, Clear and Present Danger. Okay, if you haven't seen Clear and Present Danger, it's a great movie. A lot of different sort of storylines in it. Another one that I love is Enemy of the State, which is a Gene Hackman, Will Smith movie, which is a lot about Big Brother kind of watching, and sort of Gene Hackman's character is this off-the-grid former CIA guy. So it's kind of a lot of stuff like that. And what made me think of this topic, for starters, is a movie that I came across tonight, and it may not be a 90s movie. It may be 2000s. This may be a little bit newer. Independence Day with Will Smith and Randy Quaid. They did like a sequel, which I don't think was very good. The original Independence Day, which is the one that's on right now, that's a pretty good movie. It's got just enough comedy and seriousness and that sort of thing. But What do you think of? What are some like underrated or maybe a 90s movie that you always want to watch at least a little bit of
it? Dumb and Dumber. Dude, the scene they're in the diner. I don't know what the trucker's name was, but they get up there and they fool him to pay the tab.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's leaving me. Dumb and Dumber. Obviously, I'm a comedian guy. So, and then man, underrated, The Big Lebowski.
Okay, see, people have told I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to see that. Definitely, I got to see that because I've heard that it's really, really good and really funny.
Well, either way, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Are there sports going to happen?
Listen, I don't know, man. I mean, we're going to have to turn this into an Oprah show or something. I mean, just where we're talking about human interest all the time.
I tell you what, human interest topic tomorrow. Favorite talk show growing up.
Okay. I'll be down with that. Well, I know I got nothing going on tomorrow. Won't be playing golf again until Thursday.
You're welcome, by the way.
What's that?
I mean, I think I convinced you to get the bag
you
out.
Did? Oh yeah. Yeah. Dude, I've been playing in the side yard, hitting chip shots into my recycling bin. I'm not lying. I'll pull it out there.
Your wife probably does not. She probably doesn't like me. Why are you all of a sudden playing golf? Brees told me to go out there and play.
Brees plays all the time. They courses are free up there. He just goes out and plays.
The free is ended. So
I bet it has.
Yeah.
That's one. I tell you what, golf courses around here, that's one thing that is not suffering because they are packed all the time. So, but anyway, well, guys, as we bring this episode to a close, we appreciate you guys following us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, and Spotify. Encourage you guys to click on the picture of me and Paul down here just below and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul. Also, follow us on Twitter @D3Sports and check out any of our other episodes. You can see there's one appears here to the left here that you can click on and you might be interested in. So for Paul Brees in Brentwood, Tennessee, Adam Freeman here in Atlanta, Georgia, you've been listening to Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul.